Let's discuss the questions number 1. The questions number 1 is follow. A manager wants to enhance the performance of Palo Alto Networks VM series firewall. How can the use of CLI increase the number of cores in the data plane? Let's discuss the questions number 2. The question is follow. To troubleshoot a missing or expired license for CN series firewall, which Panorama CLI command should be used? Let's discuss the questions number 3. The questions number 3 is follows. What does Global Protect Gateway use to determine which resource a compliant device should be accessing and non-compliant device should not be accessing? Let's go to the questions number 4. The questions number 4 is follow. To get the current outcode applied to a CN series firewall, which Panorama CLI command should be used? Let's discuss the questions number 5. The questions number 5 is follow. A cloud infrastructure architect wants to monitor next generation firewall in production running on Amazon Web Service or AWS. It is known that the software firewalls are able to publish native PAN-OS metrics to AWS CloudWatch. The cloud infrastructure architect is unable to browse any firewall metric on CloudWatch. Which two features are needed to remediate this issue? Choose 2. Welcome everyone to 591 Lab. Today's topic, we will discuss about some questions from Palo Alto Networks Certified Software Firewall Engineer or PCSFE with some lab simulation. The PCSFE is the certification from Palo Alto Networks that validates your technical knowledge of the software firewall product and services. Before we start, let me introduce you about the 591 Lab. 591lab.com is the top IT training and certification exam brand in China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore. Our mission at 591 Lab is to provide our clients with exceptional exam preparation experience for certification in Cisco, Huawei, Aruba, Juniper, Palo Alto, and Fortinet exam threads. If you have any queries or questions about how to advance your technology career, please don't hesitate to contact us at 591lab.com. Today, we will be covering below topics: Palo Alto VM series, Palo Alto CN series device ID using Palo Alto Networks next generation firewalls, Panorama command line, and VM series integrate with CloudWatch AWS. Let's discuss the questions number 1. The questions number 1 is follow. A manager wants to enhance the performance of Palo Alto Networks VM series firewall. How can the use of CLI increase the number of cores in the data plane? And the options will be A. Use init-cfg.txt with parameter plugin op comments equal dp cores number cores, or B. Use cfg.txt with parameter plugin op comments dp cores, or C. Request VM series dp cores, or D. Request plugin VM series dp cores number cores. Let's check the VM series appliance to find out which command that is correct. Okay, to find out which command for the VM series firewall to increase the data plane cores, we can go to the VM series dashboard. The first thing is I have the VM series dashboard here, and we need to verify that we already installed the plugin that is required for the VM series version. We go to the device and scroll down to the menu VM series, and above the VM series we can find the plugin information. The plugin information is consists of the plugin that is installed on this appliance. We find out that the VM series plugin is already installed with the version 3.0.6. Then let's go to the CLI. Let me bring you some of the command line. Here is the command line interface for PM series. Before we increase the data plane codes, let's find out the current data plane's configuration. We can use the show plugin VM series DB core commands and type enter, and we will find that how many DB core that we have. The current DB core is 1 configured. Custom DB core is not. Current total is 2. Then we can use the request command. Set core and DB cores, and we change to 2, for example, command for the increasing the VM series data plane using the request plugin VM series set cores DB cores and number 4. Based on the previous simulation, now we know that to increase data plane core CPU from CLI command is D, using the request plugin PM series DB cores. Let's go to the next question. Let's discuss the questions number 2. The question is follow. To troubleshoot a missing or expired license for CN series firewall, which Panorama CLI command should be used? The options will be A, request text support dump, or B, request plugin PM series list DB pods, or C, request plugin Kubernetes get node license info, or D, request plugin Kubernetes get license token. To find out which CLI command that is correct, let's go to lab environments. Okay, here before we go to the Panorama, I will show you that we already create VM series for the container series using the Amazon Elastic Kubernetes Service. We go to Amazon Elastic Kubernetes Service and go to the cluster, and we have this cluster. On this cluster, we have deployed some of workloads, and we have deployed the Palo Alto VM series firewall. And to confirm that this Palo Alto VM series firewall is already onboarded to the Panorama, we can go to the Panorama. We go to the Panorama, and then on the Panorama, we go to the cluster. If you scroll down, you will find the cluster, and the cluster, go to Kubernetes cluster. On the Kubernetes cluster, you will find that we already integrate to the EKS cluster. This is the same cluster on the AWS, and on the managed device, we will get the Palo Alto container series. Then to check the license, we can go to the CLI command on the Panorama. This is the Panorama, and we can running the command request plugin Kubernetes, and we go to the Kubernetes and get the license. And here is the list of the Kubernetes license command. We have the Kubernetes license features, Kubernetes get license info, and also Kubernetes license tokens. To confirm the current license information, we can get to the get license token. So we confirm that the command from the CLI to check the license, we can use the request plugin Kubernetes get license token. Then we can answer the questions number 2. Then the answer for the questions number 2 is D, request plugin Kubernetes get license token. Let's discuss the questions number 3. The questions number 3 is follows. What does Global Protect Gateway use to determine which resource a compliant device should be accessing and non-compliant device should not be accessing? The options will be A, VPN posture, B, device posture, C, host information profile or HIP, or D, host posture. To check which answer is correct, let's go to the lab simulation. To answer the questions number 3, let's go to the VM series firewalls. Here I have the Panorama, which is managing the VM series firewall. From Panorama, we can go to the objects, and you will notice that on the Global Protect options, there is an HIP object. So the HIP object is actually the host information profile. The host information profile can be used to identify which device is matched with our policy. Here we can set up the HIP objects. For example, I set up the Windows OS objects that will get the information from the device if they are the Microsoft operating system. And the other is that we have the iOS. It also will check whether the device is Apple product and use the iOS version. And once we apply the HIP object, it will check its device that is connected to the Global Protect. For example, I have tested the connection to the Global Protect, and it will show on the monitor. And from the monitor, we go to the HIP match. From the HIP match, we will show that there is a HIP type object that is identified and matched with our policy. So the compliant devices is identified using the host information profile or HIP object. Then, based on the previous walkthrough, the answer for the questions number 3 is C, host information profile or HIP. Let's go to the questions number 4. The questions number 4 is follow. To get the current outcode applied to a CN series firewall, which Panorama CLI command should be used? The options will be A, request plugin Kubernetes get license token, or B, request plugin Kubernetes get node license info, or C, request tech support dump, or D, request plugin VM series list DB port. To answer these questions, we need to check the CLI command on Panorama. Okay, to check the answer number 4, we need to go the CLI command on the Panorama. Here is the CLI command from the Panorama CLI access. We can check the request command and the plugins. We know we want to check the Kubernetes, go to the Kubernetes, and we can check the tag, and this is the list of the command that we can choose. We know we want to check the current license, So we go to the get license, and on the get license, we have the list of the license. There is several license command, and we want to check the current license is here. We can use the license token. The license tokens will show the current license that applied on the container series firewall. Then the answer for the questions number 4 is A. Request plugin Kubernetes get license token. Let's discuss the questions number 5. The questions number 5 is follow. A cloud infrastructure architect wants to monitor next generation firewall in production running on Amazon Web Service or AWS. It is known that the software firewalls are able to publish native PAN-OS metrics to AWS CloudWatch. The cloud infrastructure architect is unable to browse any firewall metric on CloudWatch. Which two features are needed to remediate this issue? Choose 2. And the options will be A. IAM policy with action equal CloudWatch put metric data, or B. IAM policy with action equal CloudWatch shared metric data, or C. CloudWatch monitoring with namespace equal VM series, or D. CloudWatch monitoring with namespace equal AWS. To understand how we can integrate with CloudWatch for VM series on AWS, let's go to the labs simulation. Okay, here I have the AWS, and in this AWS we have the instance for the VM series firewall. This one, the VM series. Let's go to the instance, and from the instance we will find that there is IAM roles that is used to deploy this AWS, and we can go to this link, the IAM roles. So to make sure that we can enable the CloudWatch to monitor the VM series, we need to make sure that the permissions of the IAM is properly configured. And the IAM that we use is this IAM, the NGFW underscore bootstrap underscore roles, and we need to check whether the IAM is already set up with the right permission. Let's click the policy. And on the policy, we can edit the policy, and we need to check the action for the policy. Here is the action for the policy. We need to put the CloudWatch put metric data on this policy. Once we have made sure that we already put the CloudWatch put metric data, we now can click next and then click save. Then we already set up the right permission for the IAM roles. Then after we set up the IAM roles, we need to enable the setup on the VM series. Then how to do that? We need to go to the VM series firewall. Here I have the VM series firewall that is reside on the Amazon Web Service, and we need to make sure that we have enabled the VM series plugin. We go to this device, and then we scroll down to the VM series menu, and on the VM series menu we can find the AWS CloudWatch setup. We then click the gear, and then we make sure to enable the CloudWatch monitoring. And once we click OK, and then don't forget to click commit. And once we click commit, and it will finish. Once it's finished, we then can check the metric on the CloudWatch. Let's go back to the CloudWatch. And here the AWS. And we need to check on the CloudWatch after we enable the CloudWatch service on the VM series. We go to the service and find the CloudWatch menu. You can click the CloudWatch, and after we go to the CloudWatch, you can choose the metric and all metrics. On the all metric, we then need to choose the namespace. The namespace, for example, we go to the VM series namespace, and on the namespace we can choose which metric that we want to monitor. For example, we want to monitor the session active. The session active is shown here. Yeah. So we now can enable the CloudWatch to monitor our VM series firewalls. Then we know the answer for the questions number 5. Then, based on the previous lab simulation, we know the answer for the questions number 5 is A and C. We need to put the policy with using the action CloudWatch put metric data, and we choose the CloudWatch monitoring with namespace equal VM series. That concludes our training for today. I hope you found this overview of PCSFE exam topics helpful. Be sure to check out 591live.com for more online course, practice exam, and training materials to continue your certification preparations. You can also visit www.591subs.com to learn more about our full set of services. And thank you for joining today's class, and I wish you the best of luck on your certification journey. See you!